What's up guys, this is Retro Gamer, welcome back. Now I'm going to start talking specifically about Super Mario 64. I'm going to start out by covering the story, which is Bowser. He kidnaps the princess, as always. Getting pretty redundant, but it's a good game nonetheless. And, the same way he abducts a princess in Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers 3, same thing. And in order to track her down and find her, you have to collect stars in each of the 15 plus courses in the game. And the way you enter the courses is, of course, by hopping in the pictures or the artwork located inside the castle. Pretty nifty idea. I like how that's how you enter the stages. But you collect the stars and it allows you to gain access to different areas in the castle. One neat thing about the game is you don't have to get all the stars in a stage before you move on to the next. It's not as linear in gameplay as perhaps Super Mario World, or definitely not as linear as Super Mario Brothers, the original. You have options, and that may be helpful for some of the people who have a hard time getting certain stars in the stages. As you just saw, one of my favorite things to do in the game when I'm bored. But back to the story, there are a total of 120 stars in the game. You only need 96 to go against Bowser in the final fight. Certain doors in the castle cannot be opened unless you have a certain amount of stars, and you can't get keys from each of the 3 Bowser fights unless you have enough stars to fight him. You have to be powerful enough, and the stars give you power or strength in order to fight Bowser, since he's so strong. The first 2 times you fight Bowser, you just have to toss him into one of the bombs on the edges of the arena once, but the final time you have to toss him into the bombs a total of 3 times. And if you notice, on the final fight, Bowser is powered up. He has some kind of rainbow thing going on. I think they could have at least made him a little bit more menacing, possibly more red tints or more gold or something like that. But the rainbow thing really isn't working too much. But hey, it's a pretty good game either way. One thing about the game I wish was a little bit different, to increase the replay value, would be the implementation of a hard mode or difficulty setting. I know Mario games have never really done that, but I think that would have added to the replay value. But the game is good value either way. I come from a rather diverse background of gaming, and difficulty settings always and they can be pretty good, whenever you want an additional challenge after you beat the game for the first time. Just my personal preference. But overall, the game is not extremely difficult. Some of the later stages are, of course, difficult, and I'll talk about some of the more challenging stages and the stars that are more challenging to get. But the game isn't hard. I've completed Mega Man X through X6, numerous Sonic games on Game Gear, which are far more difficult than their Genesis counterparts, original Metroid games, Super Metroid. I've completed, numerous of the original Mega Man games, so I'm no rookie to difficult games. I beat Super Mario Lost Levels, all the games on the Super Mario All-Stars game. I completed those successfully, so this really isn't much. Another thing they could have done with the game would be not make it so easy to get health. I mean, if you take damage, all you have to do is hop into a pool of water and come right back to the surface and you get your health back. That's a little bit of a complaint. That makes it kind of easy, especially on those stages with water around. But, you know, those are my main complaints. The camera angle can be a pain in the butt, and that can be more of a challenge than the stages at times, especially on the last two stages. But now I want to talk about each of the stages. And first, of course, is Bob-omb Battlefield. It's the introductory course. Pretty easy, straightforward. It's a course that's, you can't fall off of that course, so it's not as difficult as some of the later courses. All the stars are pretty easy to get. Womp's Fortress, simple, but it is a free-floating stage, so you have the potential to fall off the stage when you're making jumps, or if you get hit by something. Jolly Roger Bay, first underwater course. Not difficult. It's enclosed, you can't fall off the water stage, at least not this one. Big Boo's Hunt. Not a big fan of this stage. I was really expecting a bit of a closer replication of the ghost houses that were on Super Mario World. I really would have liked a ghost house like that, but it was pretty cool. The piano in the stage is pretty funny. How it hops around trying to kill you. The carousel down there in the basement is kind of creepy. I don't know, something about that, but not a bad stage. One of my favorite courses, Hazy Maze Cave. I like the stage. Stars on difficult to get, but you know, you have to do some climbing, and you have to hold on to some grates to cross some large chasms inside the cave. So you kind of have to keep the button down so you don't let go of the grate. And Lethal Lava Land is a pretty cool course. I like it. I like surfing around on the shell, taking enemies out. And Shifting Sandland is pretty cool too. I like the boss fight in that stage. The stars aren't that difficult to get. Dar Dar Docks, not a big fan of that stage. This is the course right before you fight Bowser for the second time. And speaking of Bowser, the first time you fight Bowser, it's called Bowser in the Dark World. Easy. Second fight is Bowser in the Fire Sea, and the final fight is Bowser in the Sky. Just a little tip. Just thought I'd let you know that. Yeah, so that's pretty much for the first third of the game. You have other stars you need to find in the castle to total up for the 120, you know, castle secret stars, but they're really not that complicated to get. Okay, and after you beat Bowser, you get the key to go up to the top level of the castle, which is the main door in the mezzanine. As soon as you come in the castle, you look upstairs, up the red steps, and you see it right there. You get the key to go up there. This is where the courses can, you know, as expected, get more difficult. Snowman's Land, pretty fun stage. Just showed you a little bit of it. It's not a free floating stage, so you don't have to worry about falling off of it. And neither is Shifting Sandland or Lethal Lava Land. Hazy Maze Cave, you do have the potential to fall in that course though, to your death. You don't have to worry about falling in Big Boo's Hunt really either. And Wet Dry World, I'm not a big fan of this stage, but the town section is pretty cool. The deserted town. In the second section, Tall Mountain. This is where stuff starts to get kind of irritating. I'm not really a big fan of this stage. And one of the things that makes some of these other later stages more difficult is the fact that it's more difficult to reach that total of 100 coins. And the significance of reaching 100 coins is the fact that you have to do it on each of the courses in order to get the final star of the stage. Certain courses you will need to collect all of the red coins to reach that total of 100. But if you want to do all of it in the same pass what I mean by that is getting both stars at the same time, you need to reach that 100 total before you get the star that shows up in the shadow for getting all of the red coins. Because when you get the red coin star, you will exit the stage. And this is something very important to keep in mind on the last two stages of the game, which are, golly, I'm trying to think of the name. Okay, Tick-Tock Clock and Rainbow Ride, and I'll talk about those in a minute, but not big fans of those stages. Okay, so after Wet Dry World, after Tall Mountain, there's Tiny Huge Island. You get to fight Wiggler here, and as you can see, I'm actually in Tiny Huge Island, or on the course. Then after that, Tick-Tock Clock and Rainbow Ride. And Tick-Tock Clock and Rainbow Ride they're pretty much open spaces, meaning you can fall off the stage. You can fall off a Tiny Huge Island as well, and it's pretty easy to do. And you can also fall off of Tall Mountain.
Let's go.
Just give me a little update if you haven't seen the previous 3 sections of this project of mine. I'm not playing this for completion. This is not a walkthrough. I've completed this game numerous times, and since it was my first Nintendo 64 game, I've beat it hundreds of times. So yeah, this isn't for completion, just a little project just for fun, just letting you know my personal experiences with the game, what I like and dislike about it. Anyway, enjoy the wet dry world, me just fooling around a little bit, and I'll be back shortly to discuss the last 2 stages, or the regular stages in the game, before you fight Bowser for the final time.
Here we go!
Well, this is where stuff starts to get interesting, or quite a bit more difficult than the previous stages. These final two stages, as you can see right here, you got tick-tock clock and rainbow ride. The thing about this course is the exact time of the clock you enter the stage, the position the clock is in, affects the movement of the mechanical parts inside the clock. The movement of the clock will be stopped if you go in on top of the hour, at a quarter of the hour, at the bottom of the hour, and if you go in any time in between then, the parts of the clock in the course will either be moving really fast or really slow. But it gives this course a unique personality in relation to the other courses. But you need to keep this in mind when you're trying to get particular stars in this stage. For instance, the red coin challenge or star you need to get in this stage, the clock has to be stopped. But another factor is there's not many coins in this stage, so you will have to go all the way to the top of the tower and work your way back down to get all the coins you need to reach 100. But as I said earlier, whenever you collect 100 coins, and the fact you need all of the red coins in this stage, you need to get the 100 coin total first before you get the star that appears right over there in the shadow for the red coins. Just a tip. Just make sure you remember it. You got a few jumps you have to do right here. As you can see, these parts are not moving. And the fact that these parts are not moving in the clock, as well as the other parts, makes, you know, going to the top of the clock difficult in some parts. Near the top or midway up, there's a section where you have to do a rather complicated wall kick or wall jump to reach a triangular piece in order to get to the top. And if the camera angle isn't set correctly, you could end up falling in the middle part of the stage and fall to your death. And of course, you have to start all the way over again once you re-enter the course. And that can be rather frustrating. The last courses really aren't that hard, but they can be more irritating and frustrating than the other ones. So keep that in mind. Take a deep breath whenever you enter these last two courses. Relax. Try to at least. And if you notice that music, the last two courses, whenever you hear that music, you know you're about to deal with something that's not that fun to do. These courses just are not fun to me. The music is just, it kind of mocks you in a sense. Speaking of the music of the game, music's pretty good. The music fits all the stages in the game pretty well. They did a good job of composing and assigning the music to the stages. So, no complaints there. A lot of the tracks are reused, of course, but that's not a big deal. So, that pretty much covers Tick-Tock Clock as being one of the more irritating courses. Things to keep in mind in Tick-Tock Clock are precision, jumping, and timing, and the camera angles. Those can make this stage easier if you know what you're doing. And on to Rainbow Ride, which you will see shortly. This is a vast open space. You have to be careful here. You will have to demonstrate your mastery of wall kicking skills in the maze section where you collect the red coins. But in that stage too, you have to survive long enough to reach a total of 100 coins. And there's not very many coins in that stage, if I remember correctly. So you need to collect all 8 coins. That probably needs to be the last thing you do. The red coins, you need to do those last. So you'll be traveling pretty much every section. This is the difficult triangle jump, triangle section that you need to get the jump correctly. This is what I was talking about earlier. But back to Rainbow Ride. You have to get all the coins in the maze, so you need to watch what you're doing there. Rainbow Ride tips: timing is important, precision is important. It's about jumping and knowing when and how to jump. Watch your shadow. If you're above something, that may help you, land on the right spot so you don't fall to your death. That's if you're hanging over something. That's something to keep in mind in Tiny Huge Island as well, when you're getting those coins in the Wiggler cage or the Wiggler cave. Camera angles are very important in these stages as well, because they can make or break you. But yeah, Rainbow Ride is not that fun. The carpet ride sections of that stage, you have to watch out for obstacles being in your way that can, knock you off the carpet. You have lakitus flying around, throwing those spike tops or spikies or whatever they're called. Just looking around the course right here, you can see the vast space here. The blocks in the way of the carpet. Just watch what you're doing. Pay close attention. The electric orbs and the fire launchers are in the furnace section in the big house. That can get rather irritating, and it'll knock you off the carpet, and you end up running around. Kind of hard to control Mario when he's running around, and you can end up running off the stage. So be careful. There's this triangle section over here, which you just saw it. You have to press a button. That's for 1 star. Precision and timing are very important. You have a limited amount of time. You have to make some pretty complicated jumps. Not very hard, but you need to know what you're doing. And that's mainly what this course is about, if you ask me. So the stars that I had the most difficulty getting when I was younger, still some people to this day have a hard time getting certain stars. But the hardest stars to me at the time, around 96, 97, were the 100 coins in Tiny Huge Island. Just simply staying alive, not walking off the course when I was big. And, hanging on to the cage section in the Wiggler area where the red coins are. Have to stay alive. Can't fall into the pit down there. Tick-tock clock. Of course, this is probably my top 1 or 2 hardest stars to get. The 100 coins and the red coins. The red coins aren't hard to get, but the 100 coins, yeah, you gotta stay alive. Simply put, you can fall from all the way at the top of the clock, and if you pull the control stick back, it's possible you land on one of the platforms along the side of the tower or chamber or whatever you want to call it. So, it's not that difficult in that sense. But 100 coins is a pain to get there. And Rainbow Ride, getting the 100 coins and getting all the red coins in the maze can be rather difficult. You have to master the wall jump in that stage to get out the coins. Wall kicking, I should say. And the inside the maze, there's the button where you press the blue switch and you get the blue coins. You need to get those blue coins because it makes it a whole lot easier to reach the total 100 coins, which you need to get that final star. So keep that in mind.
Let's go.
Mamma mia!
Let's go.
Mamma mia!
Now, you may be wondering what happens when you go in this door, assuming you have enough stars to just get in, but not 96. Well, what happens is you end up going up those stairs, but they never end. So, those are the endless stairs. If you don't have 96 stars, you won't be able to go up the stairs, and you won't be able to reach Bowser right here for the final showdown in the sky. Another thing to mention is, in each of these Bowser courses, you have to collect 8 red coins as well to get another secret star. These courses tend to be mostly open spaces, except for Bowser in the Fire Sea, and a lot of the coins overhang areas where you can fall to your death, so you gotta be kind of cautious. Many coins are hidden under things, on the backside of things, so you make it all the way to the end of the stage and you only have 6 or 7 coins, you likely passed it. Well, you did pass it. You just gotta look around a little bit better, and you'll eventually find it. So keep that in mind. It's just a matter of looking. These stages often require some rather complicated jumps to be made, so prepare for that. These stages tend to be littered with enemies as well, particularly enemies that shoot fire or throw you. Look at that idiot. Either way, if you're not careful where you're running when you get set on fire, I mean, you'll run right off the stage, and that's why they put the fire enemies in the stage. So you have to start all the way over again. So keep that in mind. In all, this is one of my favorite games of all time. I had a lot of fun playing this game, and you know, I spent many hours playing this game as a kid. But good times, good game. I sold this game around 1998. The original copy I had when I got a PlayStation 1, and over time I began to miss the game. I regretted selling it. So within the last year I bought the game again, and to my surprise I was looking at these Nintendo 64 game prices, at least for the first party games, the Mario games, official games, and you're likely gonna pay at least 15 bucks for a good Mario game. I mean, even Mario Tennis, golf or something. I mean, you're gonna pay some money for it. Smash Brothers, you're gonna pay probably 30-something bucks for it. Mario Kart 64, which is a all-time favorite by many people. You're gonna pay about 25 bucks as of right now for that game. So you got any Mario games, hang on to them, or because they're likely gonna retain their value. Yep, they stuck with cartridges, but hey, cool thing about cartridges is the fact that you don't have to worry about scratching the disc up. I mean, you clean the cart out, you make sure the contacts are clean. You got a system that works, odds are the game is gonna work. So just blow on it a little bit, clean the contacts a little bit, and you got a game that'll last you for years to come. Same thing with the disc games, but as a kid, disc games really aren't good for kids because they're gonna drop them and spill stuff on them. Same like a cart too, but it's so easy to mess up a PlayStation or Xbox game. And I look back at my original copy of Sonic CD and how scratched up it is. I'm surprised that thing still works. I got that game back in 94, 95, and yeah, I didn't take good care of my games, at least my CD games back then. But yeah, cards for the win. Cartridge games are pretty cool. I love them. So I'm gonna keep my Nintendo 64. In conclusion, I just like to say that I thank you for watching the video. Feel free to check out my channel, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know about your experiences with the game. You won't see me beating Bowser on this one. Just fooling around a little bit. Just thought I'd let you know so you don't get disappointed right here. At the end of the game, you save the princess, you get a kiss, and you get a cake. That's pretty much it. Questions about this game? You're in the castle. I always wondered, where's the kitchen? Yeah. I mean, she lives there. Where's the kitchen? And where's her bedroom? Stuff like that. But I guess it really wouldn't make too much sense for you to be able to see that in the game. But I kind of always wondered. Didn't mean to make a sexist comment about that kitchen thing. I'm just saying, you got a castle. You got to cook. Somebody has to cook. Just thought I mentioned that. But check out the Instagram link on my channel page. You can see some of my collection of games. And look up RetroGamerCentral on eBay. I soon will begin selling PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and some Nintendo 64 games in lots, a few systems, stuff like that. Not this game, of course, but some of the other stuff I really don't need. Either way, thank you for watching. As I said, comment, like, subscribe. Retro Gamer out. Have a nice day.